I'm going to introduce you guys to my wonderful friend, Arden Moore. Um, and tell you a little bit about Arden. Arden Moore's mission is to bring out the best in pets and their people. Known as America's pet health and safety coach, Arden happily wears many collars in the pet world. She is a master certified pet first aid CPR instructor, founder of Pet First Aid for You, and director of education for Pro Pet Hero. Her veterinary approved classes reach thousands all over the world and feature pet safety cat Casey. It's very important I get his title correct. And pet safety dog Kona, a pair of shelter alums. She makes learning fun and practical, and has drawn students from all over North America, as well as Europe, Central America, New Zealand, and yes, even South Africa. In addition, she's a fear-free certified speaker and host of two award-winning weekly shows, Oh Behave on Pet Life Radio and Four-Legged Life, a nationally syndicated radio show that also airs on YouTube. The award-winning Oh Behave show on Pet Life Radio ranks as the longest continuing pet podcast on the air since 2007. She beat us by almost 10 years. Nice job. This best-selling behavior, her best-selling, wow, the best-selling, she is a best-selling author and has written 24 cat and dog books. Recent titles include the Cat Behavior Answer Book and the Dog Behavior Answer Book, A Kid's Guide to Cats, and A Kid's Guide to Dogs. She was a columnist for Catster magazine and a former editor of Catnip magazine, a national monthly magazine published by Tufts University. Arden shares her home in Dallas, Texas with her furry Brady bunch, which includes 4 cats and 2 feline adoring dogs. She has been a feline advocate since childhood when her first cat, Corky, happily swam with her in the family dogs in the backyard lake. You can learn more about her at ardenmoore.com, but right now she's going to give us her presentation on how to achieve peace in your household with your cats.
Well, pause up, everybody. And Kristen, thank you for the intro. I am laughing because picture this, everyone. I'm in a backyard office right now in Dallas, Texas. It is not a she shed. Wait for the first pun. It is Ard's den. Ard's den. And in this 200 square feet right now, joining me are pet safety cat Casey, probably the hardest working safety cat in the world, and Rusty, the performer. They're both a couple of orange tabbies at the end. We'll say hi to them. He was a former amazing acro cat. So we have 2 orange tabbies. Oh, it gets better, guys. We have a little 8-pounder dog named Emma, my Gemma, and pet safety dog Kona, who's a terrier mix. So hopefully during this presentation, you will not hear a meow or her, because I did achieve harmony in our household, and I want to do the same for you. And I did make the reference to Brady Bunch. Okay, I'm old. But I actually grew up in a Brady Bunch when my parents divorced, and then they got remarried to other people. So I got 2 stepbrothers. So for the 2-leggers, it is an awkward sometimes transition, but also it can be a transition challenge for our 3 and 4-leggers out there. So that is why I picked that as the topic. And I just want to let you know, my goal is to make sure that we can improve the percentages, because cats and dogs can live under the same roof, or is that woof, without triggering any yowls or growls. And I want you to know that there's a lot of people out there that are sharing their homes with cats and dogs. And in this talk, we're going to talk about ways that we can introduce a dog into a cat household or a cat into a dog household. But the good news is 2/3 of households in the United States, and I do salute those that are tuning in from other countries, but 2/3 have pets. And millennials, you lead the way at 33%. So cats and dogs definitely they do a body good. Um, I want to show this next slide before you do it, Kristen, because this year actually marks my 25 years in the pet industry. And I'm a former daily newspaper reporter, so I've come a long way. But to celebrate and to depict that, don't ever ask me, do I like cats or dogs more? I love them both because they both made me a better human. And I hope you feel the same about yours. So, Kristen, please show the next slide to show how I commemorate the 25 years in the pet industry. Yes, on my upper left thigh, everyone, is this brand new tattoo. I've only had one tattoo before this, and that was a long time ago. But I wanted to purposely show that cats and dogs have made me a better person, and I intentionally made it as an outline rather than putting eyes and a face in, because I just think that we all have our own interpretations, but it did heal very nicely. All right, go ahead, Kristen. During the trivia, Kristen's going to help us out. I am going to give away a few autographed copies of my latest cat behavior answer book. It's a brand new edition, completely updated, and the dog behavior answer book. And if you look at this, in the top row of the cat cover, there is an orange tabby wearing looks like a red cross. That is Pet Safety Cat Casey. He has made the cover of my book from my publisher, Hachette and Story. And then in the bottom left corner of the dog book, you will see my own dog, Kona, who also made the cover. What I'd like to do, and we're going to have to figure it out, but I definitely will give away a signed copy of the cat behavior answer book to somebody who wins a trivia question. But I want to give away a dog and cat behavior book, to someone out there who has both cats and dogs. So I know Kristen will figure out how to do that, but I definitely want to do that. And I hate to say this, but it has to be in the continental US, because it'll cost more for the book to ship. But all my books are on Amazon, so I wanted to do that. One other thing that I didn't tell Kristen about is I am also going to give away one free class in my Pet First Aid for You. It is interactive and Zoom, and we have openings next Saturday, April 19th. It is from 10 to 2:30 Central Time in the United States. If one of you or any of you are interested, it's $110. I'm going to waive that fee for a lucky person attending this conference. And if you want to come into my class, you will earn a 2-year certificate. This is a veterinary approved program. We have a lot of fun in class, and the class will feature Pet Safety Cat Casey and Pet Safety Dog Kona. So there you go. I'm not Oprah, but I wanna give away a cat behavior book, a set of cat and dog behavior books, and somebody, if you are available on April 19th, come join us and take our Pet First Aid class. You'll learn a lot and you'll have fun doing it. Go ahead, Kristen, get to the next slide. Here is my definition of cats and dogs, because they are not similar, as we all know. I say that dogs put the D in drool, the O in obey, the G in goofy, and the S in seconds, please. Cats, however. Cats, we know this. Cats put the C in candid, the A in attitude, the T in, I forgot the T. Well, and the S in so what. So we are not talking, cats are definitely not little dogs. So go ahead and hit the next slide. All right, check this out. Many of you know this. I see the credentials of you all signing in. And let me share this with you. Some things you may say, I already know that. Some things you may say, hey, I didn't know that. But remember, repetition is the mother of all knowledge. When you hear it more and more from different valid sources, it does stick better like wet pasta on a wall. The point is, we need to know our cats, we need to know our dogs, and we need to share that information. And you are here today to do that. So I really give you a pause and applause for that. But as you can tell, we really, really haven't messed with the genes, the DNA of our domestic cats. There's, they share 95% with wild cats. And they've been around for a long time. And there are studies that show they've come back, they started in Cyprus and Egypt. But the main thing is you have a lion in your living room. This is a cat that chooses to live coexistively with you. And so I want you to know that we really haven't tweaked the genes of cats very, very much. Let's go ahead and go to the next slide, Kristen. When you are dealing with cats and dogs in a household, it is very important to remind yourself, I'm not going to say, cats have like a dual nature, and you know what that means, because cats are a very unique species. They are both a prey and a predator. They are hunters and they are hunted. And that explains a lot of their behaviors inside the home, interacting with you, interacting with other cats, interacting with dogs. So, all cats, they're genetically programmed to hunt, and they prefer to be solitary hunters, exception of lions. And it is even like kittens, young kittens. You've seen this in your foster homes, at your shelters, that they already start to crouch, to stalk, to chase and pounce on their litter mates. Then the toys, and then your ankles. They learn through trial and error. To hone in their hunting skills. But when felines become prey, or they're perceiving themselves as prey, they tap into their survival skills. So I need to urge you to take home to learn about that, because when a cat is faced with a real or a perceived threat, they may freeze, they may flee, they may fight, they may flee under a bed, jump up on a counter, they may just hold in place and their eyes get fully dilated. But if they feel cornered, they can fight fiercely with teeth and claws. And remember, another difference between cats and dogs is that cats have a flexible spine. They have claws. I call claws and teeth, I call it 5 weapons of mass destruction. And they're acrobats. They can jump the height of a giraffe, and they can have a strong sense of balance when they've up in the air falling, to be able to right themselves. The other thing to know about cats is that they are most active at dawn and dusk. I always mispronounce it, crepuscular. So they can see prey in dim light. They cannot see in total darkness. We know that cats use their whiskers, like they're like little Spider-Man, to be able to get through small openings, to detect prey in the dark, and obviously to signal moods. And I think that cats are so unique. They're an amazing, amazing species. We're going to dive in a little bit more with the kitty cats. But Kristen, if you would please, let's go to the dogs. Dogs definitely put the D in diversity. And I use this slide to show you. Check this out. these are both dogs. We have species of dogs that can fit into the palm of our hands, and we have species of dogs that probably could put us in their paw. Of all the different species, I think dogs are the most diverse. The American Kennel Club has recognized over 200 dog breeds out there. But guess what, guys? Um, there are a lot of mutts out there. As Dr. Marty Becker of Fear Free would say, canine cocktails. And raise a paw on if you've got an oodle, one of these dogs that has a poodle in them. We're talking all different kinds of poodles. You've got the puggles. You've got the labradoodles. I mean, you name it. They're not a breed. They're a hybrid. You know that, right? But when it comes to understanding about dogs, it is to be aware that they have such a diversity in species, and that we as humans, we have meddled with their genes a lot. So that is why there are dogs that are known as herding dogs, hunting dogs, working dogs, and even, yes, lap dogs. And it is very, very important to recognize that unlike cats, dogs are predators. Dogs are hunters. And they have been around with people for about 15,000 years. And cavemen and all said, "Hey, dog, let's work together to get food and shelter." And be able, so because we have manipulated their genes and all this, you can't judge a dog by its breed. Yes, they have some tendencies. A corgi will love to herd, but even your cats, even your kids. But a corgi could also say, "I'm not really into it." So we can't make blanket statements based on a breed. I want you to know that as people, for 31 years in a row, the most popular dog breed, according to the American Kennel Club, anybody know? Type it in. Labrador Retriever. Until 2 years ago. 2 years ago. For 2 years in a row, a cutie with a smooshed in face is now the most popular dog breed in the United States. I'm sure people are typing what that one would be. Yes. La French Bulldog. C'est magnifique. Hey, my Quebec friend, I did take French, but I'm not doing very well. La Chienne, c'est magnifique. So there are dogs that have floppy ears, pointed ears, cupped ears, folded ears, erect ears. Their coats are wiry, they're curly, they're fluffy, they're double coated, they're flat. There are brainy breeds like the German Shepherds and the Poodles and the Border Collies. And how do we say this? Dogs that maybe need after-school tutoring, like Afghan Hounds, Basenjis, and Bulldogs. I'm not cutting anyone down. I love them all. I love them all. And then there are also dogs like my dog, Kona. She's a Goodwill ambassador. She is a certified therapy dog, and she loves teaching in pet first aid with me. So to kind of break it down, let's go ahead and go to the next slide, please, Kristen. Dogs like to hunt in packs, and they are predatory. And dogs are all about rank. So this is really important. Cats don't care what, in all of our households, we know cats know that they're the top. But dogs don't mind being a private or a corporal if the cat is a sergeant or a captain. And you've got to use this to your advantage when you are introducing dogs into a cat household or cats into a dog household. Dogs just want the consistent knowledge where they rank in a group. This is important. So in a household, the cat gets the treat first. The cat gets greeted first. And everyone in the family needs to exhibit that so that the dog realizes, okay, that's cool. I still get a treat, but that fur purring machine gets to get it first. Dogs like to communicate with their postures, their vocalizations, use of their scent, and their eyes. And cats and dogs are always clear and consistent in their communication with us and with our communication with other dogs and other cats. Just for fun, because we live in a high-tech world, I'm sure you all may have seen this before, but if you would, Kristen, show the next slide. Which one of these is your favorite to describe your particular cat? I would say pet safety cat Casey is definitely an MOL, definitely loves to meow out loud. And Rusty, the performer, is an SMB. He always is lifting his tail and saying, please smell my butt, please smell my butt. So we have cat texting codes. So let's go to the dogs, Kristen. So for our canine pals out there, here are some texting codes. Love to hear what ones are favorite to describe your dogs. I would say TTTP would be the perfect one for my dog Kona, because she always loves to raise her paw to get attention. And I would say that my little poodle chihuahua mix, Emma, definitely is a bark out loud dog. She's all of mighty 8 pounds, but the first to sound the alarm if there is an Amazon or Chewy.com delivery coming to our door. So go ahead and show what ones are fit your dogs. And while we're at it, I'm very curious, what any of you want to write if you have cats and dogs in this talk? I think it's kind of fun. This is my third or fourth time being invited to this amazing online behavior day, and and this is the first time we're saying the D word, dog. But we really do need to study, because we want our cats and dogs to be friends, or at least to coexist peacefully as roommates. We don't want them to get into fights, because it really could be pretty bad. I want to show you these two parts, because as you can see with the body language, the dog on the left is definitely baring teeth, ears are pinned, and the cat is approaching. But the BFFs, that's best furry friends, that is Kona and that is Casey. You can tell that they have built a solid friendship and relationship. But you need to make sure that you're reading the body language. Now, I want to get into a little bit of vocals. I did get a degree in communications from Purdue in I didn't say the year. So Kristen, go ahead and go to the next slide. All right. We need to keep this always in the forefront of our minds. Look at the whole dog. Look at the whole cat. Look at the environment. Listen and watch, and be able to take account of what's going on. In a minute, we're going to have a little short, fun video where I'm going to test your observational skills. But we don't want a direct stare to a dog or a cat, especially during introductions, because that could make them threatened, and they can have displaced aggression toward that other dog or other cat. Go ahead and hit the next slide, Kristen. Cats actually have more vocals that they use than dogs do. And I really think it's important to be able to interpret them. So yes, I do have a podcast and a radio show. So here we go. Ready? Mew. Meow. All right. Mew tends to be from the kittens, and a soft meow is more for the adults, but that is often used toward us humans by felines to get our attention. Casey does the meow perfectly by the door where the treats are hidden in our house. So he has trained me. The other one, I love this one, the chirp. That is like a musical trill, and it comes from the throat, and it always kind of ends in a question mark inflection. And it is directed to a cat's favorite human. It's the cat's way of saying, hey, I'm glad you're home. Hey, let's snuggle. All right, you guys know this one. Hiss. Well, that is not a sound that you want a cat to make. That is a back off, Buster. The cat is feeling the need to defend themselves, and you may get nipped or swatted. Cats actually growl. And that is also a cat who may feel threatened or frightened. You will see that they may crouch down. They may puff up their coat. Their ears will flatten against their head. They may, this is just a warning sign to back off to you, to dogs, and to other cats. Now, the yowl. Yow! That is from an angry, agitated cat. It's like a scream, and it is that this is a threatening sound. My favorite, of course. Right now, just for fun, I want you all to try to purr like a cat. I bet you can't. All right, cats purr when they inhale. Cats purr when they exhale. Try it. All right. But we know that cats purr when they're content. But we also know that cats can purr to self-calm when they're afraid, when they're in pain, maybe when they're nursing a litter of kittens. So those are some of the main vocals for the cat. We also want to check out their tail, and that is a mood barometer. As you know, cats that hoist up a tail high and lazily, almost with a little question mark at the end, they may be in a playful mood. But if that tail is flying low and tight, that may be a cat that's feeling agitated. If it is tucked in under the body, obviously that is a cat who is feeling fear or submission. And if a cat is taking their tail and it's going horizontally left and right, that is not a happy wag like in a dog. As you know, that is a thrashing. The tail whipping back and forth rapidly is indicating that cat is afraid, aggressive, and is telling you to back off, Buster. All right, let's go to the dogs, Kristen. Dogs don't have as many vocals as cats, but studies have shown that dogs have a better vocabulary, wider, bigger vocabulary in words than cats do. So, for example, in my household, every four-legger in my household knows the word treat. Every four-legger in my household knows moo-moo, which is they get a little treat of milk. Casey knows tricks. He knows how to sit, shake paws, spin. He knows those words. So do all my dogs. But Kona knows the word weave. Kona knows I can say to her to come. She comes. I can say it in Spanish. Ven. She comes. I can tell her to sit. I can tell her siéntate in Spanish. She sits. I can tell her I say the word off, and Kona knows that's her cue to get off the bed so I can make it, and then I say, okay, and she jumps back on the bed. So dogs do have a better mastery of knowing words, but both cats and dogs are astute at studying our body languages, smelling our emotional states, and reading our cues. But with the dogs, here we go. If you hear that, this is a dog that is stressed, worried, lonely, needs a little assurance. The rapid, happier pitch is more of a dog that's saying, hey, come on, let's go. I got the ball right here. The ball's right here in my mouth. The ball's right here in my mouth. Let's go play. Now, pay attention. Low, repetitive bark. That is a dog saying, Buster, you're getting too close. You may get a dog that just goes, and a single bark or two. It's just declaring, I'm right here. Don't forget me. We know the growl and the teeth being exposed and the body tensing forward. This is a dog warning you to back off. There are actually, though, happy growls that dogs will give to other dogs in play. And I'm sure you have, if any of you have dogs that have doggy pals, you've heard the they've got a tug toy and the but it's often followed with a very play bow with their butt sticking up in the air and the mouth is loose. There's no bared teeth. Finally, any kind of squeaky whine. That is definitely a dog in pain, physical or mental, and they are very, very, very stressed. So, I think this is the most dog slides we've ever had at the Online Behavior Day conference. Here I am a few years back. I was in Arizona, and I met this German short-haired pointer at a dog park, and I just started howling. The next thing I knew, this GSP started howling with me. And then we got some huskies involved and some German shepherds. And within just 2 minutes, I had a pack of canines. We could have been our own dog band. So I really want to show what I'm going to do now for you all is I'm going to show you a slide. And I want you to try to guess what the emotional state is of that dog. I'll wait a few seconds, and then Kristen will turn the slide that shows what that emotional state is. So I think, Kristen, hopefully you got this. So if you would be so kind, Kristen, turn this next slide. Let's try to decipher dog. All right, everybody, go ahead and type in what you think is what this dog is displaying. What is the emotional state of this dog? For all of you that said aggressive, you just won a car. Just kidding, just kidding. I'm not Oprah. But go ahead, Kristen, let's go through the bullet points. Dogs that are aggressive are going to show these kinds of actions. So as I said early on, excuse the typos, you do need to read the whole body and listen and the situation. So dogs that are aggressive are very tense. Their ears are back. Their teeth are exposed. It's very tight. You'll hear a growl. The hackles may be up. They're leaning forward and the tail is stiff and they are staring at you. Go ahead and now let's go and try to guess this next emotional state in a dog. Go ahead, Kristen. All right. Look at these two dogs. What do you think they're feeling? You'll notice they're yawning. Their eyes are soft. Their ears are loosely back. So go ahead and type in what you think that is. Now, if you said that you think they're showing signs of anxiety or feeling stressed, ding, 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 you are correct. Go ahead, Kristen, let's show the slide. Because, and I hope many of you are part of the Furry. It's all about reducing FAS, fear, anxiety, and stress in dogs, cats. But these are some signs that dogs will give the cat that they're not feeling jolly. They're coward. Some of them even shed. They may not want a treat. Look at their paws and they're sweating. Even on a cool day, they could shake. Their eyes are soft and blinking and yawning, not because they're tired, but yawning because they're stressed. All right, let's try this next example, Kristen. Here are two dogs. One is destroying the toilet paper or something, and the other one's got the paw in the air like she does care. What emotional state? What is this pet wanting? Go ahead and type in your answers. Now, if you guessed attention sinking, you are correct. So let's go ahead and go to the next slide, Kristen. Just like for those that have dogs out there, you're on an important call, and your dog is next to you, or may drop a toy in your lap, or paw on your leg, or take an object and run away from you, or gut a toy right in front of you, or destroy the toilet paper you just bought, or mouth your hands. This is a dog doing their best to say, hey, 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 pay attention to me. All right. We have one more emotional state image. Go ahead, Kristen. Check out this little guy. What is the emotional state for this dog? Go ahead and type it in. If you guessed fear, you are on the button. Go ahead and show the slide. Fear in a dog. Look at all these different things that they may display. They may not display all of them, but you look for that ear back. It's soft, the dilated pupils. You know, the body is really held down low. The tail is tucked. They might even drool a little bit. And you see that whale eye or the squinting of eyes, and they definitely shift their weight to their back legs. Now, I say all that because they're afraid, yeah. But if a cat doesn't read that sign, or you don't read that sign of fear, and you try to engage with that dog at that moment, there could be a fearful bite because they feel like they have no other option. So go ahead with the next slide, Kristen. I think it is important for all us two-leggers out there to really hone our skills as being a pet detective. And that is to not take sides in a multi-pet household, but to look at clues and look at things that are coming from the dog, coming from the cat. What is the situation? What is your emotional state? Now, I pray that this will work, but Kristen is about to play a very short video, and it is with my dog Kona and my cat Casey when they were younger. They are in a living room. There is audio on this, and I say this for a reason. I want you to look at this video and type in what are something that my cat Casey is doing or saying. What is something my dog Kona is doing or saying or not that conveys they're actually playing and not fighting? So we're going to go ahead and play that video. Type in what you see, and Casey's the cat and Kona's the dog.
Good girl. Good boy. Kona, Casey. Casey, love you guys.
All right. I'm hoping I can't see what the what some of the things are. Kristen, can you point out anything somebody said? I don't have their messages.
So what people said was play. Kona's wagging his tail. There's mutual back and forth action, and no one's trying to disengage. Doesn't seem aggressive. Kona's wagging tail. He play bows. Casey's ears are forward, and Casey never hisses or growls. Let's see, lots of tail wagging comments. Casey's tail, Casey tail out, Kona tail up. Casey's on his back submitting. Kona's showing teeth, but in a playful way. Kona's tail is wagging. Let's see, doesn't seem aggressive. Let's see, that No growls, no yowls, no tail up. The tail is up and the butt is up. Um, no twitching tail from Casey, and no vocalizations. Um, the dog's tail is wagging and no one's growling. That's pretty
Well, that's
much
good.
not.
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
loose
All
body
right.
language.
Yeah, I am so proud of all of you. And there's some other things to depict. When cats are playing, they're usually mimes. They've got their mute button on. And Casey and the cat and Kona the dog, Casey's playing with the dog without making any vocals. So that's another one. The other point out is Casey can jump to the top of a refrigerator, and Casey never left the floor. So I hope this exercise, you had a little fun with it. I'm applauding all of you. You're very good, but we just have to hone our skills a little bit more. Take that moment to stop. Be like a camera and see, listen, smell what's going on, gather the clues. All right. So whether you are planning to bring a cat into a dog household or a dog into a cat household, let's go to the next slide, the introduction tips. Years ago, Rusty, I got Rusty when he was a kitten. And at the time, I had a 93-pound dog, a Bernese Mountain Dog mix named Bujo, who loved cats, but 93 pounds, and little Rusty was only about 4 or 5 pounds. Kittens and puppies. The first year you spend with them, please agree, don't you? You call it the wonder year because you wonder where your sanity goes. They're high energy, their brains are forming, their bodies are growing faster than their brains. They get into a lot of mischief. They don't know good manners yet. So poor Bujo, all 93 pounds, little Rusty would jump in Bujo's food bowl, would bat at her fluffy tail. And fortunately, Bujo took it all in good stride. So you have to introduce, we'll tell you this in a minute, but patience, and more patience. We know this. We know that they need to share scents. So you can take, a slightly damp washcloth on each body and exchange it. But when you bring in a newcomer into the household, you just don't bring them into the living room and let them just meet themselves. You already have to have prearranged some private, safe rooms so that the newcomer can adjust to life in this house and get the chance to kind of settle in and figure out what's what and who's who. So resist, hey, leave the cat alone, comments to a dog. Try not to pick up the puppy and cuddle them while you're yelling at the cat for daring to swat the new puppy. There's some success. I'm not saying it's 100%, but you can do those plugins. The pheromones like Adaptol and Feel Away. For the dog, you definitely need to keep them on a long leash when you're doing an introduction in like a living room, so you can step on it and let the cat have many escape routes. I've also done it where the cat is kind of sleepy and the dog is kind of sleepy, and I crate train all my pets. So after dinner, when Rusty was getting acclimated to life in our household, he would be in a cozy carrier on the sofa next to our dogs who were free roaming. And we just watched TV. And so they got kind of used to slowly the household situation. You definitely need to go room by room. I know it's a pain. Look around, because the curious kitten, the curious puppy, the newcomer may see dental floss on a table and crush it, and then you've got to deal with choking and have to take my course. A dog may grab a cat toy, and it may be so little that they could be choking on it. A cat will want to maybe go over and pee on that very expensive dog toy that you just left on the living room floor. So do this daily. You want to reduce any uh-ohs. And this also minimizes any chance of dogs taking cat toys and cats taking dog toys. So we put away toys and we supervise play in our multi-pet household here. You definitely need mani-pedis for your kitty. Those nails can really do a number on a dog's face. There needs to be places for both the dog and the cat to safely snooze. In our living room, we have a really nice cat tree. Goes almost up to the ceiling with a lot of little hidey holes and scratching things. And the cats like to hang out there. And the dogs like to be elevated off the floor, and they're on the sofa on little comfy blankets, and everybody gets a chance to recharge. I think it's extremely important. We're down to 3 cats and 2 dogs because our 21-year-old cat, Mikey, passed away recently. But we have another cat, a black and white cat named Baxter, and Baxter came from the streets. Baxter was a cat, a community cat that had been spayed. Well, go back. That had been spayed and neutered. And go back, please, Kristen. Yeah. That. Oh no. Go to the. Yeah. Stay right there. Thank you. Anyway, Baxter spent 10 years on the street. Had been dumped, and everybody in the neighborhood fed him. And every time I would walk my dogs, Baxter would pop out of the bushes and walk with my dogs. Well, in Dallas, the weather can get really cold and get really hot. And Julie and I made the decision that this is a friendly cat. He deserves a home. So we adopted a 10-year-old cat. He's now 15. And it is so important that you spend one-on-one time with each of your pets and then spend joint time and together. Go ahead and go to the next slide. All right. This is Kona, who's normally a very well-behaved dog, saying you left the gate down and I see a cat litter box and ooh, baby, I'm looking for some kitty Tootsie Rolls. But the problem is a cat litter ingested by a dog could cause abdominal blockages. We really need to keep the kitty bathroom far inaccessible to any dog of any size, using baby gates. And you also need for the cats the ability to get out of harm's way with escape routes. You know, my friend Bob Walker kind of revolutionized the need for having wall shelves and head to tail things years ago. And so, make sure your kitty has places to escape. You also need to protect yourself too. So you are not, watch yourself. You're not grabbing a cat because with their flexible spines, they're going to nail you. If you get scratched deeply by a cat, and remember their nails have been in the litter box and on the floor, contaminants can get in your bloodstream and you can land in the hospital with cat scratch disease. So these are some of the things I want you to be aware of in introductions in cat and dog households. Go ahead and go to the next slide, Kristen. Food, 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 food. Food is the favorite 4-letter word for your dog, for your cat. And let me tell you this, they don't care anything. You can drive a beat-up car or a brand new Lexus. You can live in a studio apartment, or you can live in a mansion. That's all fine. But to them, the most priceless asset, next to you, I hope, is food. So we really, really need to make sure that mealtime is calm and safe and not stressful or engaging in a food fight. So to help you with that, here are some ideas to consider. Now, I feed 5 pets a day. At one time, we had 7. I always get the meals prepared in a place away from dogs and cats. So in our kitchen, next to our kitchen, is a big laundry room with a shelf. And that is where I line up all the bowls, measure out all the food. We have a little pet refrigerator in there. So nobody is underfoot. And I also make sure everybody gets their own bowl. There is no sharing. You're veterinary technicians, and I know there's some of you out there. Don't you always ask us, what are you feeding your dog or cat and how much? Well, you can't answer the how much if all the cats graze from one big bowl. Go ahead and hit the next slide, Kristen. Everyone needs to have their own bowl. I really recommend no plastic bowls because of the contaminants. And yes, remember I told you about cats and their rank. You always give your kitties their food first. And doggies get to wait in the park position. You're teaching your dog doggy manners. Sit, stay. And so in my household, because Rusty is real crazy for food, when I get all the bowls ready in the laundry room, I take out one bowl. It is for Rusty. And he flies down the hallway with me into the bathroom where he has a little food mat. I put his bowl there. I leave the light on. I shut the door. He eats in the bathroom. Then I give a bowl to Casey. He eats on top of the kitchen island. We keep it clean. And third, we get a bowl to beautiful tuxedo boy Baxter, who eats in a spare bedroom. In the meantime, my now two dogs, Kona and Emma, are hanging out in the kitchen. And they both have to sit and stay. And if you have a kitchen island and you have more than one dog, place each of the bowls on the floor on one side or the other of the kitchen island, because you just created a visual barrier. So they can eat in peace and hang out. And also, many of you may say, my dog really is well crate trained, so let them eat in their own crate. It's like dining for one, and inside the crate or carrier, they feel safe. No one's going to steal their food, and let them out when they're done eating. It is so important, everyone, especially if you have a lot of cats. Resist the notion of wanting to line up all the bowls of food for the cats against a wall in a row, because you can cause stress, because one cat or one dog is going to finish before the other, and you don't hear it, but there's silent smack talk going on. Are you going to eat that? Are you going to eat that? Are you going to eat that? So for the poor cat that's a slower eater, they may get their food stolen by another pet who's more aggressive, and then it takes a toll. Stress takes a toll on physical and psychologically. So you may notice that that cat starts to vomit more or has runny stools. These are signals this cat is stressed out at a time that should be peaceful and enjoyable, and that is mealtime. Same thing with fights between cats and cats, dogs and dogs, dogs and cats. A dog fight, a cat fight over food is very vicious. That is why I highly recommend these strategies. You supervise, and please, please, definitely pick up those bowls, clean them, and store them, because an empty bowl can trigger a fight. So we're always worried about the dog hurting the cat. But Kristen, show us the next slide. All right. How many of you have a bully cat? What does your cat do to torment the poor dog? Bully cats, yeah, they do exist. And it doesn't matter if they are bullying a dog that's 2, 3, 4, 5 times their size. It is not about their size, guys. You know this. It is about their catitude. I've actually seen a cat a friend of mine has a German Shepherd fleeing in fear. Bully cats, they want to control every situation. They might even attempt to push you around, right? By demanding meals when they want them and nipping your hand when they decide they have received enough petting. Bully cats, this is very important, they do not accept punishment or corrections, but they have a weak spot. They want our attention. So you need to use that to your advantage when you're dealing with a bossy feline. It is much like training a dominant dog. So go ahead and go to the next slide, if you would. You need to exercise these bully cats. And I don't mean making them do kitty push-ups. Yeah, sure, get them in some physical exercise like chasing a wand toy or fetching something. But maybe use a food puzzle or something for them to use their brain to try to fish out a treat. When you are playing with them, because these guys are a little bit of bullies, you need to watch your hands, protect them. Don't engage with hand-to-cat contact. Use an extension like a wand toy or a cat fishing toy for them to use to exercise on. And what you're doing is you're tiring that cat and giving them something to work their brain on, and so that they're less apt to be a bully. But it also is a lot of homework, I know, but try to look for the signs of a bully cat about to do his bullying and interact, disrupt, toss a toy, say the word, hey, who wants a treat? And what? I can't be a bully and go for a treat at the same time. Look for that head dipping, the back arching, the cat doing that little wiggle before the pounce. Because cats cannot be happy and mad and a bully at the same time. If you try scolding or you scream at that cat, you only fuel that cat's aggressiveness toward the poor family dog. So just separate the two, let them calm down, and in the introduction phase, until you feel safe for them both, never leave a cat and a dog alone in your home when you can't be around to supervise. They both need exercise, mental and physical. You can separate them at mealtime, and you might play with the dog take him on a walk, and cat with a feather toy, but you just need to be able to take your time. Cats are on a slower timetable than we are. As I said before, it is very important to regularly keep those kitties' claws trimmed to minimize injuries to the dogs. I want to give you some goals, and I hope that you can achieve these goals. Let's go ahead, Kristen. Definitely hope that you can be that household that shows pictures on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, of your happy fur pack. In this photo, this is actually, here we go, left to right on the couch, we have Kona, my dog, Rusty, my cat, Emma, my dog. Are you ready for it? And next to them is our canine visiting cousin, Jackson. And hanging out, surveying it all, is my late great cat, Mikey, who passed away recently at the age of 21. Look how all they are touching. They're all feeling safe. They all got resources elevated above the floor. And they all chose to be buddies. All right, let's go with the next slide, Kristen. Now, this is don't start it yet, but this is going to be something I have videoed of my little dog Emma and Rusty the performer under the watch of Kona, my dog. And I want you to take a look at this video and show and write in what are the signals that the little dog Emma and the orange cat Rusty are giving that shows they're actually playing and it's not a stressful situation. Go.
What's up, pet pals? Arden Moore here. Our dog Kona, pet safety dog Kona, just had major oral.
Kristen, sorry, not that one. It's the one with the I just showed. That slide should have a video on it. The one behind it. Yeah, right there. There's no video. There it is. Thank you.
Woke up this morning and we're having a little fun with Emma, our dog, and Rusty, our cat, at the foot of our bed. Come on, Emma, figure out where's Rusty. Oh, there they go. And the play is on. What do you think, Kona? I like it when cats and dogs play. We could be really good friends, right? Yes.
Go ahead and type in what are the signals that you saw in little Emma, the dog, and Rusty, the cat, that said they are being friends. And Kristen, if you could, if anybody's typed already, could you share a couple out loud?
Absolutely. Let's see. We've got loose body language, mutual engagement, little vocalization, and some tail wagging. Rusty is reaching out to play. It's not retreating. Let's see. No hissing, growling vocalizations, tail wagging, loose body language. Let's see. That's pretty much the gist of everything that's in here. Happy animals, good little vocalization, lots of tail wagging and engagement.
And you all know why I have to make my bed many times a day now. But it is kind of fun if you've got a cat and dog that are buds. And you know that's big on social media. Everybody loves it. But you know, your vibe, your energy is communicating to them that this is a home where everyone is welcome, whether you bark or meow. And so both Emma and Rusty came in a few months apart. They're both 5 years old now, and they are really good friends. Now, the next one, I believe, is that before you showed, is that one with Casey and Kona, Kristen? But I want to demonstrate that, well, that's how Kona and, that's Rusty and Emma every night. That's how they sleep. If you notice that, Rusty has his arms around Emma, hugging her. They are all body touching. They're trusted buddies. What I want to show before you show the slide, Kristen, is the next one, which is the where you want to reach. Yes, they can be playmates. Yes, they can sleep together and be buddies. But in this next video, don't hit it yet. This is remarkable. Pet safety cat Casey and pet safety dog Kona have been friends for over 8 years. And poor little Kona the dog, if you see her right front paw, you can see the bandage still. She needed major dental surgery. She lost some teeth. She had some gum surgery. She was groggy. She just came home, still probably having a little anesthesia impact. And she got on the couch, and this is what Casey did as soon as he saw his pal. Right, Casey? Yeah, he says yes. So you guys take a look at this and tell me what you're seeing here. Take it away, Kristen.
Pause up, pet pals. Arden Moore here. Our dog Kona, pet safety dog Kona, just had major oral surgery. And look at Casey, pet safety cat Casey, giving her some TLC. We hope she heals very quickly. And here also for support is Emma, my Gemma, Kona. We love you and all the things you do to help pets and people. We're going to let you rest up, and you're going to feel so much better.
So, Kristen, did anybody type anything in?
Let's see. Affectionate head bunting, curious sniffing, rubbing on the area of extraction, giving comfort, scent marking over the scent of the veterinarian, um, head butting and commingling scents, Casey rubbing up against Kona to comfort and be present for her, loving and understanding, and let's see, trying to comfort the dog. That's pretty well, possibly purring.
Oh yeah, he was definitely purring.
I
You
think
guys
that's
are
the gist.
wonderful. You know, let's go ahead and go to the next slide. So the point is this: the real truth about cats and dogs is they can live together well. And if you have situations where your spidey senses say they will never get along, you know you have options. You can keep them separate. I don't wish them to be rehomed, but if it's a rehome to a better place for a dog or a cat, so be it. We are not surrendering them. But you've got to make sure that you always keep the emotional state for the dog, the cat, and for you always in the forefront. And be patient and realize we are 3 different species living under one roof. I did say that on purpose. But for my entire life, I've always had cats and dogs. In fact, my first cat was named Corky, and we had a backyard lake in Crown Point, Indiana, and we lived with shared with a beagle named Crackers and a border collie named Peppy, and all 3, cat and 2 dogs, would go into the lake with us and swim to the raft. And then they'd sit on the raft, and then we would carefully put them back in the water, and they would swim to shore with us. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't know that Casey as a cat shouldn't like water or that he shouldn't get along with dogs. I guess the message I'm saying to all of you is, if we all get along, even with our backgrounds being diverse, it's a triple win. You, the cat, and the dog. So go ahead and hit the next slide. So yes, I am not Oprah, so you're not getting a new car. But to reiterate, I am going to be giving away 1 signed cat book to a cat-only household, a signed dog and a signed cat book to a person who wins the trivia coming up later, who has cats and dogs. And then mark this down. Any of you, I know it's only a week's notice, if for those of you available and willing to take my Pet First Aid for You class and earn a 2-year certificate, and the class features Kona and Casey, it is interactive via Zoom. It is not death by PowerPoint. You will get a course book. It is $110 value, but we will pick a winner, and the class goes from 10 to 2:30 p.m. Central Time on Saturday, April 19th. So those are my 4 giveaways, Kristen.
I think those are excellent. I need to work them into our trivia, but that's it's fantastic. I'd like to take your class myself. I haven't had an opportunity to do that.
Well, we got to get you in, girl. And then I think there's one more. So we all have to do our social media. So I want to let you know my main site, Arden Moore. This is, if you want to take a screenshot of it, this is my first aid site. There's my Oh Behave show. I'm kind of excited. I have 1.4 million views on my YouTube, and I have almost 900 videos, and TikTok and all that other stuff, Facebook. So I want you to know I would love to have you be my pals on these sites. I do not talk politics. I do not talk religion, and I do not snark. Everything on these platforms are for people who want to be better with pets. And we have a lot of celebrities and ordinary people doing extraordinary things on my shows and on my YouTube channel. I also have some big news. In the summer, I will be unleashing a self-paced dog and cat first aid course. I already have an in-person and I have an interactive Zoom. And I'm also unleashing later this summer a cat-only self-paced first aid and CPR class. So we will get the details out to all of you. Right, Kristen?
Absolutely.
So I know some of you want to learn first aid at 2:30 in the morning by yourself. Good. So I finally came up with the third. So I've always been teaching it in person, always been teaching it interactive all over the world on Zoom. And darn it, I finally got the technology humming, and we're in the edit stage right now with all the videos. And we will be launching self-paced cat first aid CPR course and a dog and cat CPR self-paced course. All will earn 2-year veterinary approved certificates. And they're fun, by the way. They're fun.
Arden does nothing if not fun.
Oh, can I before the question, can I show everybody who's here?
Sure, absolutely.
All right. Everybody give it up for Pet Safety Cat Casey. He is going to be back at the Virginia Cat Festival in November. He was voted the most popular presenter. Oops, he just fell off his tube. All right. Next, coming up, Rusty. Rusty, come on up, Rusty. Rusty, come here. Rusty, up. Come on. Here is Rusty the performer. Come here, Emma. This is little Emma, my Gemma. And here is my Kona. All right, park it. Tree. Come here, Casey. Casey, up. Casey, up, sit, touch. Okay, Rusty, there you go. Let the questions begin.
All right.
First time on your conference you've had dogs.
Yeah, no, this is great, and it is important to note that we, as cat people, if we're introducing with dogs, it's important that we do understand a little bit of dog behavior as well, just to be able to interpret what the dog is saying to the cat and saying to us. So that is fantastic that you've been able to give us that little crossover information.
Look at them in the background.
Let's see. We have one very important question first that somebody asked a little earlier that I was interested in as well. So tail wagging, there's been a lot of comments about, oh, the tail's wagging, so things are okay. Is it possible that with tail wagging, there's different situations? Do dogs wag their tails out of stress? Do they wag them when they're anxious? Are there other,
Absolutely.
and what could you describe that?
Yeah, tail is definitely a mood barometer for both dogs and cats. You know, a dog that's doing a lazy, relaxed wag or a circular wag, again, there's 200 different dog breeds. You look at the total package. The face is relaxed, the ears are relaxed, the body is relaxed. You know, that tends to be, I'm up for introductions. But a dog can do a stiff tail. A dog can tuck the tail under. So you kind of look at the speed and the tension and the placement. Same thing for a cat. Everybody says, well, my cat's tail was wagging. Oh, hell to the no. A cat that's wagging a tail is either something's coming that they're not really happy about, or they're giving you a warning, because then it starts going like this, and then the ears get back. That is called a lash. That's different than a happy dog tail wag. So don't look at a dog's tail wag thinking it's the same for a cat. I don't know if that helps. But cats will also, they do that puff up tail. They also will tuck their tail in. But cats convey contentment if the tail is just kind of going up as it walks toward you. And it's like the little top is lazy and it's curved. And if they do that, that is a cat that's happy to see you. But if that tail is straight up or it's stiff, I wouldn't pet that kitty.
Gotcha. Excellent. All right. So let's see. Somebody has said that they've learned something with horses, that they're curious if it converts to cats. I don't know if you know, but it sounds like you got some far background.
No.
A naysayer. All right. So they learned that yawning is a sign of relaxing in horses.
Hmm.
When her cats first see them, they see her come in, they often yawn. Is that an indicating any change of emotion, or are there any other comments about that?
Well, I don't know horse, of course, but usually in a situation in introductions, if a cat or a dog is yawning toward the other one, they're
Mhm.
not tired, they're stressed, and they're just
Gotcha.
kind of getting the download. They don't really know, ooh, should I leave? What's going on? But then as they become buddies, and they just groom themselves and they're yawning and they go into a sleep. Well, obviously they're tired, but a yawn on introduction is sort of I don't know yet.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Somebody wants to know how many tricks your orange kitties know.
A lot. Um, Rusty will jump on your shoulder on cue. Casey rides in a stroller and also walks up. They both walk on harnesses. Rusty will jump through a hoop. Both of them, when I say up, they will come up to a counter. They both know sit. They both know touch paw. Casey does the world's slowest rotation for a spin. And Casey usually answers me when I ask him a question. So
Those are
there you
all
go. Those
pretty
are some,
pretty great tricks.
yeah.
All right, I think we're at 11:30, so it is time for a little bit of a break. Arden, thank you so much for giving us all of your fantastic dog and cat information.